As there's a rebound from Rosecrans, Moeller shot fakes and pass it over back to Sawyer. Good ball movement here from the Raiders. Still have not had our first whistle yet tonight.
Sawyer came up big there. She was able to intercept that. She looked like a cornerback in the NFL.
Here's a three ball on the way from Sweat to Strong. Ahrens, though, is there for the board. That's a good sign for this East Peoria team, Gabe. We were talking earlier today that biggest key, arguably, in this game is going to be rebounds.
Yes. They're really going to need to. Both teams are actually going to have to really get on the boards, but especially for East Peoria, as they gave up 42 rebounds to Canton last time out, which was a season high for Canton.
Yeah, this Canton team definitely has East Peoria outsized a bit, so something to keep track of tonight. We'll see how the Raiders fare as Sawyer, nice little pull-up game there, and gets it back to just a 2-point deficit. Strong shooting from both sides so far in this one. Here's Spencer doing some work on Sweat in the post. 21-on-21 action. And Sweat comes away with the rebound. Sawyer up top. Canton brought back that pressure a little bit. Now here's Ahrens. Was open for a split second and didn't pull. Sawyer will on the baseline. Her shot too short. And it goes off of the hand of Rosecrans and back to Canton. You know, Gabe, we were talking before the game. We're not sure what we might see. I think we might see a little bit more points in this one. Two teams off to a strong start on offense.
Yeah, they're really driving the basket, really putting up shots as much as they can, and it's good quality shots as well. We haven't seen many of them try to force it in coverage, which is really good, and that's something you want to see if you're the coach.
Nice block from behind there. I think that was Turner getting in on that one. Now it's Wheeler the other way. And a forward for Canton that's got a very dynamic game. Again, all-conference selection for the Little Giants. Spencer's in some trouble and finds Gaines. Now Wheeler. Good defensive possession here from the Raiders.
Really just keeping that tight defense on them.
And now they'll let Demler shoot, and that's a mistake there. You can't let Ella Demler get hot from behind the line. She knocks down her first from three-point land.
It was keeping control of the ball there, able to find Demler out on the three-point line, and she's able to bank it. You leave her open, that's going to be dangerous any day of the week.
Now here's Demler kicking it over. Three ball from Wheeler is good. Canton shooting the lights out, and East Peoria calls timeout. Back-to-back threes has turned this 2-point lead into an 8-point one for Mary Beth Dura's squad.
Yeah, the Little Giants have just come out shooting. I mean, they went out and, good ball movement all around. They're finding the open girl out anywhere that they can. And they've hit their shots, which is especially what you want. Good quality shots, and they're making it. If they keep playing like this, East Peoria is going to have a hard time against them.
Again, 13-5 your score right now. Again, been a fast-moving first quarter. Glad you're with us here on CIProud.com. Jonathan Michael, Gabe Holoka here with you. And Gabe, we're just excited to get back in the swing of basketball. I know you being a Bradley student, you just got back here to campus, and you said this is your first time in a high school in almost 2 years.
It's been 2 years. Yeah, it's been my first time in a high school, just in general. But I remember doing broadcasts for my high school back in when I was there, like my senior year, and it's just the environment you get from a high school basketball game. It's just a lot different, especially in conference games like this. You just feel like there's a lot of tension there, and you want to win.
Most definitely, these games definitely do mean a little bit extra here as the Little Giants, who have, talk about the atmosphere, they've brought in a good crowd here from Canton, some loyal fans making the about hour-long trip over here to EP. Raiders broke that press, but Moeller's there on the offensive glass, and she'll get to the line. First foul of the game goes on Gaines.
And Moeller from the free throw line she's pretty dangerous out there, so you really don't want to foul her as much as you can.
Again, if we have a close game late, it's going to not be a player you want to foul if you are Canton, although Moeller does miss her first. So looking for her first points. They got the 3 from Rosecrans and the 2 from Sawyer, and Moeller
She gets it there.
drops it in for the IBCA All-State Special Mention honoree last year. Wheeler, nice shot fake there, freed her up. Now Gaines from three-point land, she knocks it down.
And the Little Giants are just doing everything right now. They're coming out, finding the open girl out in the corner, and then they're hitting their shots. That's the thing. Good quality shots are being shot, and they're making it.
Yeah, it's one thing to get the open look. It's another thing you got to actually drain it, too, and Canton's doing a great job.
It's difficult to do that.
Of executing so far. A foul there on Demler. That's the second on Canton here in this half, or this quarter, I should say. Gaines, though, takes it away. Demler feeds Turner up there. Here's Wheeler again. She can't miss. Canton
On fire.
Took the words out of my mouth. I'll spice it up and say en fuego.
Hey, I like it.
19-6
I like it.
here in this first quarter. This game was just 7-5 a few minutes ago. Sawyer crosses over, finds Aarons. Her 3-ball is too strong.
Yeah, East Peoria really needed that shot there.
Jump ball, possession of the Raiders.
And jump ball will give it back to East Peoria. And Canton came into tonight a 32% shooting team from three-point line. I think that's going to definitely go up after tonight's all said and done.
If they keep shooting like this, that may go up like 10 or 15 points.
Well, at this point of the season, it's going to be hard to maybe get – they'd have to make almost everyone to get up that hard. But I think they could get up to at least 35, 36 after –
It's very possible.
this one here tonight. Again, good ball movement here from the Raiders. Trying to slow things down a bit. Here's a deep 2 from Sweat off the front iron.
Yeah, East Peoria is missing way too many shots right now. They're going to need to start hitting those, and that's going to be something that
And Wheeler's 3-ball is a rare miss, although East P nearly turned it over in the backcourt. Sweat was able to regain control of it. Now here's Sawyer for an answer. That one too strong, but Rosecrans is there, and we get another tie-up. This time it goes back to Canton.
Yeah, really good defensive possession there from Canton. Putting the pressure on them, able to get the turnover and force it.
And haven't seen a ton of turnovers from either squad. It's been a pretty clean ball game up to this point. Canton's just made more shots. Wheeler too short, just reaches over Sawyer and puts it right back in. That was a good box out from Sawyer. He's got to remember to actually go up and you got to grab the rebound as well.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to do that when Wheeler's standing at 6 foot tall and just that long wingspan. She's able to reach over and just grab it, looking like Victor Wembanyama out there.
I love the comparison. Moeller looking like Steph Curry out there with the 3. 21-9 cuts the lead to quickly Canton the other way, and looks like Spencer traveled with it. It's an opportunity here for EP to compound some buckets here with 1:16 to go in the first.
And those mistakes that the Little Giants make, East Peoria is going to really have to capitalize on that. Every little thing that they do wrong, the Raiders are going to have to go and capitalize on every opportunity, because you're not going to get much of those.
As a Canton team that, again, doesn't make many mistakes, as Demler gets called for the foul. That's her second, so something to keep an eye on there.
Watch that.
But, you know, any team coached by Mary Beth Dura over at Canton is not going to make many mistakes. She's obviously a head coaching veteran, commands so much respect. Won a state title a couple years ago back in Brimfield before coming over to Canton.
Yeah, very well respected coach. Just when you get to know her and you get to talk with her and just see how she's organized her team, wow.
How about Moeller, right place, right time? She can't finish, but she does the second time. Alert play there from Kylie Moeller, and gets it back to a 10-point deficit. Back to what you were saying.
Oh, yeah,
Dave.
yeah. Sorry, that kind of shook me, just how fast that quickly turned around. But Mary Beth Dura, saying very well respected coach. Her team loves her. She's really led this team to where they are right now as a good force in this Mid-Illini Conference, and they're able to play the game as well as they can, and that's big props to her for that.
Again, definitely says something to the fact that Canton's able to be very competitive in the Mid-Illini Conference. And remember, they're just a Class 2A school, and everyone else is either in Class 3A or 4A. So Here's Sawyer. A shot rims out with 7 seconds to go. Canton is time for one last shot. Wheeler looking to find gains in the post, comes up short. Moeller gets the board. She got fouled, but that will only be foul number 4. And it won't result in any free throws. So we'll get a half-court heave here from EP. It'll either be Moeller or Sawyer to shoot. And probably most likely Moeller, as Wheeler now comes out to defend. She chucks it up. A valiant effort, just comes up short. But a hot shooting first quarter from Canton, and 11 points from Allison Wheeler. Has the little Giants in front. We'll take a quick break and step aside and come right back. You're watching the WMBD Game of the Week on CIProud.com.
Need an injury lawyer? Get a fighter. Get a street lawyer like Todd Strong. He's not afraid to get his hands dirty. He'll fight for your rights. Get Todd Strong. He fights like a street lawyer.
My name is Todd Strong, and I've been representing injury victims for over 25 years. I have a team of lawyers that also assist me in the handling of our cases that have aggressive passion to represent injury victims and get the best outcome possible.
Meadows Avenue Tap. Slots powered by Gold Rush Gaming, the gold standard in video gaming. Lunch service starting at 11. Meadows Avenue Tap. Discreet gaming, great food, great friends. Our customers have won over 60 million lifetime. Meadows Avenue Tap, East Peoria.
And welcome back to East Peoria. Second quarter, just getting ready to get going, and Canton is on pace for 92 points here tonight, Gabe. I'll see if they can keep that up or not.
Yeah, they're going to have to keep that going, but from the way this game has started off, Canton's just come out hot, making every single shot that they've made, and they were able to spread the love a little bit, too, with the ball. You know, it's not just one person. It's not like Ella Demler or only Allison Wheeler. Everyone's getting a chance to score, and that's what they need to do.
4 players have scored for Canton as new substitution into the game for East Peoria. Braylee Van Ness got fouled on the way up, and she'll shoot 2. But a big first quarter again from Wheeler with 11. She's averaged about 12 points per game every year since her sophomore year. So, and just the mark of consistency for her, and she's showing that, again, she is very much a stretch 4, you could say, a forward that can really stretch the floor and make things tough to defend.
Yeah, and like when you have someone that has that kind of range and that kind of consistency as well to always hit their shots, you just rely on them and you want to feed them the ball, get them open as much as they can because you have that faith in your teammate that they're going to hit the shot.
Most definitely. Again, Wheeler will play basketball at the Division II level next year at University of Illinois Springfield alongside another area standout that some might know, Julia Mingus from Peoria Notre Dame, also part of that incoming freshman class. Here's Wheeler with it now. Good hands there by Aaron. She read it like a book and finishes for her first points. Back to a 10-point game.
Great read there by Gracie Aarons. Able to, as you said, just read that like a book and then take that to the house and able to finish that on the glass. Can't ask for anything better than that.
Here's a 3-ball on the way from Turner, and just missed the mark. Props to Aarons for just finishing that layup. It's hard when you're going full speed down the court, trying to, keep the distance between you and the defender behind you, and then to be able to, finish it and not lay it in too hard off the glass, as Moeller was looking for Rosecrans there along the baseline.
Yeah, but as you were saying on that Aaron's layup there, when you go full speed, you also have to try to slow your momentum down as you're going to the basket because you don't want to overshoot it. So it is a very difficult shot running at full speed to the basket. I can't even make it standing still, so.
Here's Wheeler swinging it around. Demler now drives in, shoots a nice little floater off the glass and in. Bank is open for Ella Demler after hours.
Amazing footwork there by Demler. Able to just move around the defenders, bank it off the glass. Easy 2 points there for her. Extends the lead there to 12 for the Little Giants.
East Peoria again having good ball movement all night, and they've been definitely trying to slow things down a bit. It's always interesting to see two teams, one's trying to play slow, one's trying to play fast, but Sydney Sawyer knocks down a triple, and she's up to 5 now, and that lead is back down to 9. Takeaway there from Aarons. Up to Moeller, who keeps it in bounds. No, she does not, but a valiant effort nonetheless.
Yeah, that was a good defensive possession there by East Peoria. Fortunately, they couldn't finish it up at the rim. But that, as I said, that's something they're going to need to do when they have those good plays. And Canton does make those mistakes. They're going to have to capitalize on that, especially being down 9 right now in the second quarter. You're going to need to get that going.
Still plenty of time left, but it has been pretty firmly controlled by Canton up to this point. And you swing the ball around. Here's Michaelan Correa into the game for the first time for Canton. They are passing the potato. I should say passing the ball like a hot potato. But you can say passing the potato as well.
We'll go with it.
A wide open shot from Wheeler just rims out. And it deflects off of Rosecrans and stays with the Little Giants. Back to Canton's pace, Gabe. Back on Monday, Canton and East Peoria, for that matter, both played in the Mid-Illini Big 12 shootout as Spencer knocks down a mid-range. And that shootout actually featured a 35-second shot clock, which, again, is not mandatory yet in IHSA action, but they decided to do it for that shootout. And Canton's game, as Aarons knocks it down, shot clock only expired once in that entire game, and that win against Richwoods for them. So it's clearly a team that likes to play fast.
Yeah, and especially when there's no actual shot clock, as you said, in the IHSA rules for this game right here. They still like to play fast. They try to get as many baskets as they can, put up the most amount of points that they can in a single game. And I think that's where they found a lot of success, is just having that aggressiveness, going out there trying to get any basket that they can as fast as they can.
And a foul there on Spencer, and she'll likely head to the stripe here. Spencer, a junior forward. Shoots about 63% from the line. Had a big game recently against Limestone with 15 points. And her first drops in. She is up to 5 now on the night.
First free throws there for Canton. How many of those do you think we're going to get today, John?
Well, I haven't seen many so far, despite the impressive point total so far from the Little Giants. Again, that's their only free throw. So we'll see if they keep on going down in the paint or if they keep on shooting from three-point land, where they've had plenty of success so far. Still early in this one. Moeller from way out nearly got the shooter's bounce. Now Demler quickly back up to Wheeler. Kicks back out. Wide open shot is good. Ava Gaines knocking it down, and she's up to 8 points.
Amazing transition offense there for the Little Giants. Able to find Ava Gaines there on the three-point line, and again, able to hit it.
This Canton team's got lots of shooters, 4 players, all with 5 points or more for Canton so far. Sawyer ran into some trouble and turned it over. Demler regroups right in front of her own bench. Now Turner, Demler penetrates. She likes that little floater, and boy, she's good at it.
Yeah, she's done that a few times already today, John, and she's hit them every single time. I don't think she's missed one of those today.
Saw her knock down a nice baseline floater back in Pekin on Monday. And those ones are always tough. You don't have that backboard behind you to kind of get that depth perception. You have to get that shot perfect. Otherwise, there's no chance it's going in. Here's Rosecrans. Just a bit too strong, speaking of baselines. And they've done such a good job of just getting the ball up the court quickly. As soon as there's a rebound, they're passing it up the floor, and there's already someone down there from Canton. Not quite 2016 Chino Hills, but almost somewhat reminiscent of that a little bit for Canton.
Yeah, no.
Aaron's on the drive, went up and got fouled, so she'll shoot 2. But, boy, that Chino Hills team, that's back when, LaMelo, LiAngelo, Lonzo Ball were all playing on the same team. And that was a high school team that's going to be talked about for generations, I think, to Gabe.
Yeah, no, they were just so fun to watch. And they had a lot of team chemistry as well with them, and, all working together very closely. That's what made them fun to watch, is having that chemistry. And I think that is the key to success in this game, is knowing your teammates, knowing your strengths, knowing who can do what better, and figuring out how that works, knowing where they are on the court as well. Big key to success.
Most definitely. Anyway, both these teams are pretty well acclimated with each other. Neither one of them lost too terribly much from last season. Although it will be interesting to see who's going to step up and take the load for Canton when Demler and Wheeler graduate. Although, and you look at girls like Ava Gaines, who's been playing well, Grace Spencer, they're probably going to be some of the torchbearers for this Canton team down the line, as well as Michaela Correa, too.
Yeah, and as you said, Maribeth Thura as their coach, you know, she just makes you a better player. So I see a really good future for them, especially if they trust the process that they have with their coach and just the organization that they've put together here.
And we get a jump ball there. And talking about head coaches, East Peoria's got Adam Binger in his third season. Again, it's not the easiest job. East Peoria in the Mid-Illini, you know, it's a program that's struggled to find success, but again, he has led this team into their best season in a while here this year as Moeller had it tapped out. You look at what Adam Binger has done there. And last season, 8-24, already exceeded last year's win total at 13-11 this season.
Yeah, he's had a lot of success as their coach. You know, coming out, you know, when he took the job, you know, they weren't in the best position, but he's really turned his organization around, and you see it right now, having one of their best seasons. They've won 2 conference games already this season, looking for another one here.
You know, it's not always about, you know, immediate success. You know, his first year they won just 1 game as Sawyer takes it away and finishes in transition. Good play on defense there by the Raiders to get it back down to 11. But, you know, this first year here, they won just 1 game, and then the last year they won 8. Now they've won 13, and that's about all you could ask for. It's just all about progression. You know, they say Rome wasn't built in a day, and you're not going to see those turnarounds right immediately every time. As Sawyer brings in the miss now, and now she's looking to push again. Because she go coast to coast. She gets fouled by Gaines.
Yeah, when we go back to just the progression of that, all the seniors for East Peoria, like Kylie Moeller, Cindy Sawyer, all of them came in again when this team wasn't where they wanted to be. You know, they wanted to be a lot better, and they trust the process. They trusted Adam Binger, and they're having one of their best seasons that they've had so far.
Sawyer's first free throw is too strong. Rosecrans checks back in for Van Ness. Just want to get it down to 10. Again, Sawyer, she's been the main number 2 scoring threat alongside Kylie Moeller this season and knocks it down there. She's got 8. That leads all Raiders so far.
Yeah, Sawyer's been just all over the court today. She's gotten a couple of steals. She's scoring at the basket. She's gotten a few assists as a facilitator. She's done it all so far. She's been...
Ava Gaines has also done it all, too. Saw her knock down the 3, that time getting down and dirty in the post, and now she's got double figures. Canton, again, we talked about before this game, averages about 46, 47 points a game, and they're already at 35 right now. So their hot shooting night continues, although East Peoria is going to try and slow things down here and try and bring out that press.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see at halftime with Adam Binger what kind of adjustments he has for his team, what ideas he's going to bring to the table during half. And maybe we're going to see a completely different game at that point. Maybe the Raiders will come out and shoot as hot as the Little Giants were in the first quarter.
And yeah, we talk about that just improvement for East Peoria. You know, they're, again, we've said it time and again, building towards what could be this still could be one of their best seasons in program history. Take a look at, you know, they're getting towards the summit. You know, in 2010-11, 13-win season, they won a regional title despite them being under 500. Back in 2003, they went 18-9. 2014, they went 19-9. Obviously, at 13-11 right now, you might beat that win total, you might not, who knows? But again, it shows you, you know, that winning seasons don't come around too often in East Peoria girls basketball. So yeah, this is an exciting time for this Raiders program.
And I'm really glad we're able to cover this and just be able to just see this, because honestly, before this game, I didn't know much about East Peoria and their history, but you know, doing, you know, work and everything, looking at seeing how their program has done over the past few years, it's definitely just a fun game to watch, and I'm really excited to see how they finish their season.
Wheeler, nice post move, got open and didn't quite fall. 1 minute to play. East Peoria trying to get this down to single digits before the half as Moeller, who's got 6 tonight, sets things up, guarded by Wheeler up top. Now it's over to Sweat. Sawyer going to drive baseline, kick it back out for Rosecrans. She's left open. Too strong off the mark, and look who's there. It's Aarons on the offensive glass again. She's done that multiple times tonight.
And that's something that they're really going to have to do is just utilize those boards.
Almost made good on her own one, but Moeller is there for a third chance. Still plenty of time. Kicks it out. Rosecrans' three is no good. And a tough stretch there for East Peoria. And Sweat tried to save it and goes back into the hands of Demler. Now up to Gaines. Quick move in action, and she lays it in. That's a tough stretch there for East Peoria. Could have been a 3 on your end. He gave up the 2. Now they have 6 seconds left. I bet Moeller's likely going to shoot here if you're EP. Drive it in, step back, triple at the horn, got it to go! Bang at the buzzer, Kylie Moeller knocks it down, and Canton only leads now by 11 going into the half. That's a huge shot for the East Peoria senior.
That's big momentum going into the half. A shot like that, step back 3, able to make it. Now it's only an 11-point deficit that they have to deal with.
Still a very manageable game right now, and that will give you some, not just an advantage on the scoreboard, it'll kind of get you pumped up and hyped up going to the locker room. I'm sure the halftime speech is now going to probably be, I'm sure it was already going to be positive, but it's probably going to be more positive now. Get you really excited to go, and boy, what a fast-moving, quick first half. Really impressive play on both sides of the ball, Gabe, and this, again, you look at the Mid-Illini, it's hard to believe that these two teams are 6th and 7th in the conference standings right now. It just shows you how good this conference is this season.
Yeah, the conference is just loaded full of talent and all up and down on each and every team. We said that any team could beat anyone at any time, and Canton in this one went out hot. They came out scoring every chance that they had, and East Peoria kind of struggled a little bit with that, but they're starting to get their momentum back, and it's going to be interesting to see what the halftime adjustments are for East Peoria and see how they deal with the rest of the game.
Again, in case you didn't see the top of the broadcast, there's a current look at the Mid-Illini standings of what a conference it is. Morton ranked 4th in Class 3A, Washington number 1 in Class 3A, Pekin, Metamora, Dunlap all having good seasons, Canton, East Peoria having good seasons, even Limestone. Pretty solid team this year as well. But a fun first half here from East Peoria. We'll step aside for a quick break. Come right back and break things down here at halftime. You're watching the WMBD Game of the Week here on CIProud.com with our Clutch Sports Media crew, Joshua Messenger, Gavin Russell, and Gabe Paloka. I'm Jonathan Michaels, and we'll take a quick break. Come right back here on CIProud.com.
It's time to trade up. A job is just a place you go to work. A career is a path that moves you forward. Trade your job for a career in welding, HVAC, medical assisting, dental assisting, and more with hands-on training at Midwest Technical Institute. At MTI, you don't just get an education, you learn a valuable set of skills you can build on for a lifetime. It's time to trade up. Get the training you need for your new career at MTI.
Hi, I'm Jim Arnold with Wayne Dalton Sales and Service. Improve the curb appeal of your biggest investment, your home, with a new Wayne Dalton garage door. Or for repairs on your existing door, call us for service even on Saturdays. Wayne Dalton Sales and Service. It's in the name because it's what we do.
At Ham's Furniture, we have your comfortable, affordable recliners, mattresses, and more. And we offer free local delivery.
Hi, I'm Russ at Ham's Furniture, inviting you to stop in and see what's new today.
Ham's Furniture at 347 Court Street in downtown Pekin.
The Bob Grimm way starts with us.
The Bob Grimm experience, what I like is that, you put customers first, make sure we meet every expectation and make a long-lasting relationship with them so that, they know that we're here for them and for their friends and family.
Don't try to put someone in a car that is not going to work for them. If you don't have what they want, try to get it, the proper vehicle. Again, just treat people the way you'd want to be treated and a fair deal.
That's the Bob Grimm way.
Meadows Avenue Tap. Slots powered by Gold Rush Gaming, the gold standard in video gaming. Now serving breakfast Saturday and Sunday at 7. Meadows Avenue Tap. Great breakfast, discreet gaming. Our customers have won over 60 million lifetime. Meadows Avenue Tap, East Peoria.
Community High School got a Mid-Illini girls basketball matchup here at halftime. A little over 6 minutes before teams head back out for the second half. Alongside Gabe Paloka, I'm Gavin Russell, giving Jonathan Michael a couple minutes of vocal rest a little bit. A lot of high-scoring action, so a lot to get excited about. Gabe, what's some takeaways from the first half?
Well, Canton came out hot, as we just talked about right before we went into half. They came out, really good ball movement all around, and they were able to find open shooters, and then they hit their shots. That was the thing I took away from it, is they were hitting every single shot that they could have, and it was good quality shots as well. And I think that's a big reason for their success. And East Peoria kind of struggled a little bit early in the first quarter, but they started picking it up there in the second. So the halftime adjustments got to clean up those mistakes a little bit, but still plenty of game time left.
Certainly, and good teams make shots, and Canton's a very good team. They came out and made their shots. Seemed to me, from my vantage point behind running the camera tonight, East Peoria kind of shot themselves in the foot a few times. They did a lot of things right. They forced turnovers, offensive rebounds, just a few of their own turnovers, a few missed free throws. So certainly look to clean that up in the second half, but it's been a good one so far. Who do you look for, maybe one player from each team to maybe kind of try to make a difference? Maybe not totally put their team on their shoulders, but kind of come out and try to spark something for their respective teams.
Yeah, I would say for East Peoria, like we talked about Kylie Moeller and how great she's been, but definitely Sydney Sawyer needs to be recognized. She's been kind of like under Kylie Moeller's shadow a little bit, I guess, and like the stats and everything, but she's had a great game all around. She's gotten a couple steals. She's hit her shots, facilitated the ball very well, gotten a couple assists, a couple boards as well. And also Gracie Aarons, too. She's also done a really good job for East Peoria. And then for the Little Giants, I'm going with Allison Wheeler, standing at 6 foot. She's done a lot already. I think, definitely having her height and having, her talent there on the court, it's going to be big for them going into this one. I think definitely if Canton continues to grab boards on the glass, it's definitely going to really benefit them for their success.
Certainly, East Peoria has been playing that zone defense too, which can be effective at times. What do you do to maybe adjust a little bit to kind of get out on those shooters? Because that's been Canton's biggest part of the game, is they've been getting the three-point shots. East Peoria kind of hasn't had that zone working. What do you make an adjustment with that zone? Yeah,
with those zones, it's really just like you want to kind of like look at like the key, and like maybe you might want to adjust to more of like a man coverage as well. Maybe if the zone isn't working, you can't really seem to find that, you might just want to go man-to-man as much as you can. And if they end up throwing a screen out there, or, they might want to just switch that up a little bit, if that doesn't work.
Certainly. We'll see what adjustments they've been able to make. It's going to be a good second half of basketball in East Peoria. We'll take another quick break and be ready for the second half. Jonathan Michael will be back on the call. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Game of the Week on CIProud.com.
Central Illinois, we're going to overtime. After 4 years of preps coverage in Central Illinois, Clutch Sports Media is ready for a new era. CSM Overtime.
What is CSM Overtime? We're going beyond the broadcast to give you in-depth coverage of your teams.
Your stories. Your stats and standings.
Your highlights and action shots.
With your subscription, you'll get to see news and feature stories from all sports, up-to-date stats from around the area, and thoughtful analysis from our team of experts. As for our broadcast and social media coverage, it's only getting better.
With your support of Clutch Sports Media Overtime, we'll continue to grow our free broadcast coverage with more sports, more games, and more innovation.
And thanks to our partnership with Too Efficient Media, your social media feeds will be filled with Central Illinois' best sights and sounds.
CSM Overtime will also give you access to full galleries from some of the most talented photographers and videographers in our region.
As the new season approaches, it's time for more.
More action.
More stories.
More coverage of all Central Illinois sports. It's Clutch Sports Media Overtime.
Welcome to Braskies. This is your home away from home. First down to last call, we're serving up the good times. Food, drinks, music, and games all under one roof. At Braskies, you'll find what you're looking for.
The heart of Illinois needs volunteers, and you can make a difference. Be part of a global community of people who care. Discover the joy and satisfaction that comes with improving your community and the lives of the people living in it. United Way connects volunteers who are ready to work with opportunities in the local area, driving real change made by individuals like you. Join United Way in improving the lives and communities around us all. Sign up today at volunteer.hoyunitedway.org.
Take the hassle out of pavement restoration with Purdue Pavement Solutions. Whether seal coating, crack sealing, or parking lot repair. And now featuring pavement sweeping. For professional quality pavement craftsmanship, trust Purdue Pavement Solutions.
And welcome back inside East Peoria. Second half just getting underway here as Kylie Moeller dials up a 3 for East Peoria. Again, I want to thank Gavin Russell, our halftime host, for hopping in as Moeller turn around, nearly got it to fall. What a tough look that would have been as we get a foul. Already lots of action happening here in this third quarter game. That's just about how this entire game has gone so far.
Those 18 seconds right there have just summed up this whole game. There's so much action that's happened in it, and both teams have come out aggressive, and they came out in this third quarter very aggressive, and unfortunately East Peoria couldn't get a basket in there.
But they did get, again, that buzzer-beating 3 from Kylie Moeller, one of the better shots you'll ever see, especially at the horn. High arcing shot, just rattled right in. As here's a baseline J and rims out there for Grace Spencer. Now go back to the Raiders. One thing to keep an eye on, just real quick, fouls have not been a big factor in this game, but Ava Gaines and Ella Demler both have 2 for Canton. East Peoria hardly in any foul trouble at all. They've barely committed any so far today.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of fouls. You know, they're playing clean, competitive basketball. They're making sure that when they do get their turnovers, that they're not, fouling each other, grabbing each other. It's like sometimes, when you get passionate and you get aggressive, sometimes you end up fumbling in that way. But they play clean, competitive, calm basketball, and I think that's been a key reason as to why Canton is up in this game pretty big.
And the Raiders turn it over in front of their own student section. Not a bad little student section going on over there for the Raiders right now. I mean,
they got good supporters.
Yeah, about two dozen fans showing up. So always good to see your fellow classmates and students showing up to come to your games, especially the big ones like these. Just past the halfway point of the Mid-Illini Conference season as Demler wheels in and gets fouled. But only about a month or two, or about 2 months left of the entire season, and that's until the end of the entire boys basketball season, like state down in Champaign. But the regular season for both these teams are going to be ending here in less than a month. Hard to believe as Demler knocks down her first free throw.
The seasons seem to just fly by very fast. As it feels like as you get older, the seasons just get faster and faster.
Demler goes 2 for 2, and it's a 13-point advantage for Canton, who's trying to win their second in a row and their third in their last 4. A win tonight could put them as high as in a tie for third in the Mid-Illini, depending on how the other games play out. Lots of other Mid-Illini action going on tonight as well. 50-50 ball, and it's Wheeler who comes away with it. Feeds up the court, and again, that nice outlet pass to Demler, who lays it in.
Yeah, amazing work there from the Little Giants. Wheeler able to corral that ball and just toss a Hail Mary across the court, and then being able to finish it at the basket there as well. That's just a beautiful basketball. Nothing, I know Maribeth Dura can't ask for anything better than that.
Deep 3, bit of a line drive there from Moeller, but nearly went down. Feed up now to Correa. Her shot in transition is no good. Now here comes Sweat the other direction. Now Moeller, again guarded by Wheeler. Usually guards the other team's best player, and ball is batted around. It will stay with the Raiders. Other Mid-Illini games going on tonight. Pekin going up against Washington. That Pekin team is playing some very good basketball right now. Dunlap, a bit shorthanded at the moment. They're taking on Limestone as Sawyer Tries to get to fall, and still a 50-50 ball. We get a jump, and that favors Canton.
Jump ball possession to Little Giants.
And Metamore and Morton, the other Mid-Illini game going on tonight.
Yeah, East Peoria right there. They had the opportunity. They had those second chance opportunities to score points that they do need in order to come back in this one, but just not able to finish it. And I think that's something that they're really going to need to just adjust and really need to hit those shots when they need it the most.
Here's Wheeler kicking it back out. Demler considered a three. Now we'll see with a 15-point lead midway through the third quarter. Wonder if Canton's going to maybe slow things down a bit more on offense. Wheeler's shot comes up short. Demler tried to save it. It goes out of bounds.
Personally, if I was Coach Dura, I keep the foot on the gas pedal on it, especially when it's a Mid-Illini Conference game like this. You want to make a statement and make sure that you make sure that you let other teams know that you're not messing around, that you're not going to let up and you're not going to take it easy on each other.
Again, still plenty of time for an East Peoria run. Again, as you get a look at last time these two teams faced off, back on December 10th, Canton won it 56-44. You see Ava Gaines there had 19 points for Canton. And Kylie Moeller at 21 in that one for EP. And again, that one was defined by rebounds. Canton got 42 of them. I think East Peoria is doing a better job in the paint so far tonight as Moeller gets fouled.
Yeah, and going to that, East Peoria, we talked about this as well. The Raiders have done a really good job on the glass, and they have been able to get the boards when they needed it. But those offensive boards, they haven't gotten those second chance points. I think that is something that we didn't mention that is big to their success in this game. That I think we forgot to include.
Most definitely is. Moeller misses her first. Try and knock down her second and get up to double figures. She cannot. And Canton in transition. Wide open. Demler just short. Correa fends off Moeller. And stays with the purple and gold. Now a three ball on the other end. Turner. Third chance. Correa's deep two goes down for her first points of the game.
Multiple offensive boards there for the Little Giants. Able to keep passing the ball around. Good ball movement. Able to get the points when they need it.
That helps extend the advantage to 17. And remember, this was a 37-26 game at the half, so EP is still looking for their first bucket of the second half, and it's not going to come there, but it was a good look, though, from Sweat. And Turner tried to thread the needle there to Demler, and it goes out of play.
Back in for the Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders have missed a lot of shots in this quarter, and I think that's something that I know that Adam Binger talked to them that they need to hit those shots, and they're going to need to just make sure that they take those good quality chances that they can, but it hasn't worked out for them so far. Still looking for their first points in this quarter.
Pair of subs come in for EP, and the three ball from Ahrens comes up short. Spencer wrestles it away. Know a thing or two about wrestling over there in Canton. Make the argument that that is a wrestling school as East Peoria calls timeout. It'll be their second of the game. And talking about other sports, wrestling over at Canton, but there's a lot of softball players from both of these schools, Gabe. Is you get a look at all of the softball players who are going to be hitting the diamond here pretty soon. You got Brooklyn Dennis, Natalie Downing from Canton, Allison Wheeler as well, Ashlyn Sweat, Sydney Sawyer, and Gracie Ahrens. And that's not even all of it. There's a few more from East Peoria, too, that also play softball. So always great to see a multi-sport athlete. Helps, so many benefits to playing more than just one sport.
Yeah, and it's definitely great for them to continue playing a sport and keeping their body active throughout different points of the season. You go and you play basketball throughout the winter, and you make sure your body stays ready as you go into spring and summer when you go in and you play softball. And I think that being a multi-sport athlete, something I couldn't do back in my day, that was tough, but I just wasn't good enough for it. But I give a lot of respect to those multi-sport athletes out there.
For sure, and talk about other multi-sport athletes, Kylie Moeller there's never any question of whether or not she's conditioned for every basketball season because she is a state qualifier in cross country for East Peoria. Boy, that's a sport that really just physically takes a lot out of you. That is one sport I could never do.
I was never fast enough. I always just said that I had a fridge on my back every time I ran, or I ran like a turtle. So not my strong suit.
I could run fast for short periods of time. I could maybe do some sprints. Never did it competitively, but distance, absolutely not. Sawyer's three is blocked away by Wheeler. That's a risky take when you shoot a three with a 6-foot forward right in your face. Moeller sets up the blob. Baseline out of bounds play. Aarons now feeds it over to Moeller, looking to drive in. Awkward shot there, and Wheeler's presence affected it. Demler driving in. She can really make her own shot, Gabe. We've seen that a lot off the dribble from her tonight.
Yeah, she's been able to just, coming off the dribble, take 2 steps, find gaps in between the defense, fit through it, and then also be able to hit the shot in that as well. It's very tough and very hard to do that, but she's done it very successfully, and I think that's something that's just a big part of her game and why she's so successful to this team.
And Demler's got 13 tonight. She's got 2 games with 20 or more at a season-high 23 and a win over Porta earlier this season. That was a big win for the Little Giants. Offensive foul on EP gives it back to Canton, and the Raiders are still looking for that first bucket of the third quarter.
They've just been really cold on really everything. They haven't been able to hit a shot. They haven't really played clean defense as well. I mean, you got to give props to the Little Giants. They're continuing to go out here and, even with a big lead, they're not letting up.
And nearly turned in some easy points there as Sawyer almost came away with it. Little Giants will set it up now with Wheeler. Moeller and Sawyer have been really aggressive with that high pressure so far today, and it's led to some steals. Sawyer takes a tumble. And it leaves Wheeler open. Aarons came in, and Wheeler traveled.
Really good defense there from East Peoria. Keeping it tight on them. Able to force the travel on that as well. Now on the other side of the ball, you're going to have to put up some points here.
See if they go in the direction of Moeller, who again had 37 back on Monday in a win against Normal West. Moeller's been a starter since her first varsity game. That one just misses the mark. Good effort there from Sweat. She's going to get called for the foul.
Her second, team 4.
Yeah,
her second, and the team's 4th.
Kylie Moeller here in this quarter, in this half, she hasn't hit her shots either, and they keep going to her, and she just seems a little off with like her jump shot. So I think big thing for the Raiders' success here in this quarter and here in the rest of the game. Maybe try to find someone else. Maybe go and give the ball to Cindy Sawyer, and let them see what they can do with the ball as well.
And on the other side of the coin, though, again, you got Moeller, one of EP's all-time leading scorers. Maybe you can't get out of a slump unless you keep on shooting. So maybe they keep on going to her. Nearly got it to fall there. Just tough spin on that one, and it rimmed out. Now Demler the other way. Euro steps into the lane, and there's a collision. As she gets back up quickly, that looked awkward from up here in the booth.
Yeah, they tried to draw the charge there on that one, but couldn't get the call.
So East Peoria has not many chances left to get on the scoreboard here in this third quarter. Again, Canton's defense has been stifling. We saw some easier looks from both these teams earlier on, but now both these teams having to work for it a little bit more. Moeller drives in. Scoop layup too high off the glass. Sweat gets the board. Aarons, now Sawyer, top of the key. Comes up short. It's been that type of quarter for East Peoria. But then again, though, you look at on the other side, East Peoria's held Canton at just 6 in this third frame.
They've definitely their East Peoria's defense has been a lot better this half than than we saw previously in the previous half. But their offense has just been struggling, and that's a big reason. They're going to need to really pick that up in order to get into this game again.
Here's a quick turnover. Moeller has time to shoot with one. Here's Ahrens just before the horn, and she couldn't get it to go. So a lid on the hoop for EP in that third quarter. Again, extends their lead marginally. It's 43-26. Stay tuned for the fourth quarter. Right back after this on CIProud.com.
Welcome to Braskies. This is your home away from home. Food, drinks, music, and games all under one roof. So bring all your friends. Bring the whole family, because we could all use a bit more Braskies.
In 1957, Cyril and Lewis Keller invented the skid steer in Rothsay, Minnesota to make farming and agriculture work much easier. Since then, Bobcat has become an integrated and trustworthy household brand. Being the first to bring the mini excavator to North America, Bobcat revolutionized the industry with compact tractors, utility tractors, mowers, and other equipment. Quick and agile, Bobcat is one tough animal. Locally owned and operated since 2001 in Bloomington and Peoria, Illinois.
Welcome back to East Peoria. The Canton Little Giants lead East Peoria 43-26. They're going to look at their upcoming schedule. Monmouth, Roseville, and Metamora on the road. And they return home to the Alice Ingersoll Gym, one of the best places around to host Dunlap and Pekin. And a big one at Washington on February 7th. So we're kind of getting to that point of the season, Gabe, where every game is a key one, and there's a lot of good tests. Even that Monmouth-Roseville game should be pretty good for Canton. Nice pass, and Wheeler couldn't quite finish. Correa off the glass and in.
Hot start there for Canton. Able to get the basket in, first 20 seconds of the quarter.
And EP looking for that first bucket since that Moeller buzzer beater. It looked like it gave the Raiders plenty of momentum. It turns out it's unfortunately done the opposite. They're still looking for their first bucket of the second half.
Canton's just played really good defense. They've kept it tight on them.
And there we go. How about Kylie Moeller? High degree of difficulty, but sometimes you shoot better when you have to make a tough shot like that, and Kylie Moeller certainly can.
That was really good defense by Canton, but Kylie Moeller, just a very lethal shooter, really, in any aspect.
Three ball from Demler is good. She's got 16 off of a nice feed. Interesting for Canton, Wheeler had that torrid start for Canton, but since she's kind of quieted down, it's been more Gaines, more Demler, more Spencer, and Correa.
They've been able to spread the ball a little bit more, able to go and let someone else handle it, let someone else go and score a bucket. And again, that goes back to the team chemistry that we talked about earlier, and just having trust in your teammates that you don't have to do all the work. You can pass the ball out, you can, grab a board and make sure that you know where your teammates are. And when you have players like that you trust to succeed as well, that just makes the whole team better.
Most definitely. And one thing we haven't talked about yet tonight, Gabe, is I got to wonder how much more dangerous Canton would be, not just tonight, but also this season, if they had Brooklyn Dennis back healthy, because she is would have been a returning starter, and she was for part of this season, but has not played since November 30th due to an injury.
Yeah, and it is unfortunate, having an injury like that, especially with a great player like Brooklyn Dennis is. Sometimes it hurts the team's momentum, and that doesn't really motivate them as much. But honestly, I think Canton's been able to look at that as a positive outlook. Let someone else go out there and play, and you're able to see what each player is able to bring to the table as well. But I mean, if Brooklyn Dennis was healthy, yeah, this would be a pretty scary Canton team.
Most definitely, as Demler extends the advantage up to 24, but Dennis's injury, obviously it stinks for her, especially since it's her senior season. You never want to spend a majority of it on the bench, but it's led to, some players getting more playing time, like Emma Turner, for example, a 5'8" junior who is, unlike Dennis, going to be part of the team next year and going to be relied on a lot more, especially when Demler and Wheeler graduate. So that's the silver lining for Canton, is players like Turner, like Correa, maybe some other players like Olivia Sprecher or Natalie Strode, who we haven't seen so far tonight. Maybe more opportunities for them. And kind of ripped the Band-Aid off a little bit earlier for them in their varsity career.
And you're able to it's able to give Coach Dura just able to see how they perform in game as well. Even with an injury like that, as you said, silver lining, you got to look at the positive of it as well. And being able to let these girls play, give them a chance to play, see what they could do, because anyone can bring anything to the table.
We'll see if maybe we see some of those players here with Canton holding a 24-point lead here in the fourth quarter. It's been a lot of that. Those outlet passes up the floor, and look who it is. Emma Turner right on cue, laying it in for Canton, her first points of the game.
And Canton just played really good defense, able to get the turnover there and turn that into an easy 2 points on the fast break.
That one is good. Big three there from Sawyer, who's now got 11 for EP tonight. That matches Moeller. Get a foul there on Spencer. That's her fourth foul of the contest. Our producer, Josh Messenger, doing a great job behind the sticks tonight, putting on an interesting stat. Canton had 23 in the first quarter, and again, only 31 since then. So credit EP's defense for taking that three ball away a little bit more. At least they're not just letting them shoot all over the place. Canton's had to get creative in finding their shots as this one has rolled along.
Yeah, we saw in that first quarter that they were able to get just the ball movement around, find the open person, and they were hitting their shots. But the East Peoria defense, they've really been able to narrow that down and not have it as much as it was in that first quarter. And that's a big part as to why this game hasn't been like a 70-point game for Canton.
And there's still 3:50 left. You never know.
You never know, yeah.
You never know. As Moeller heads to the line now for EP. That foul goes on Demler. That's her fourth. And substitution in for the Raiders. Another one of those softball players we touched on earlier, Maddie Biller, into the game, sophomore forward. And we talk about, Canton going to be losing some key players next year. East Peoria, they're going to lose Kylie Moeller and Sydney Sawyer. So these younger players, especially like Gracie Aarons, like Ashlyn Sweat, like Annika Rosecrans, they're going to have to, the spotlight's going to be on them, and it's going to be up to them to kind of carry the torch and build off that momentum that they've had from this successful season.
Yeah, the Raiders, they have a decently young team, a couple freshmen in there, a couple sophomores, and them in their first 1 or 2 years on the team, having a successful season like this just brings motivation. You want to do better than you did the year previously, and that's the goal for any athlete, is do better than what you have done the year previously. So they have that mindset going forward. East Peoria could be a pretty scary team here in this Mid-Illini Conference.
Most definitely, and it not just does something for the players, it does something for the players that are maybe in middle school or freshmen that are thinking about joining basketball, but they're not quite sure. And they can see the season and say, hey, this team could win. I know there's been maybe in the past years, maybe think, oh, East Peoria can't win. This team can win, even in the Mid-Illini Conference. So I think that should maybe get some players energized and say, hey, I want to be a part of that. I want to, be able to beat other players, maybe make a run in the postseason. Who knows? EP still playing tough defense here as Moeller tried to reach in on Turner and instead got called for the foul, her second. Again, in case you missed the first part of this one, close early on, Canton led 7-5, and the three started falling. Allison Wheeler, Ava Gaines, Ella Demler all knocking down some big shots. And it was 37-26 at the half. Scoring has slowed down a bit here in half number 2 as Canton looks to lock up Mid-Illini win at number 4 on the year.
Yeah, and you're talking about how the game was so close in the first quarter, and here in the second, we haven't seen that much scoring. You got to give props to the defense for Canton and East Peoria. East Peoria gave up 23 points in the first quarter. They've able to hold them to 31 for the rest of the game. Excuse me, 33 now, because they just scored. And then the Canton defense, this whole second half, they just been aggressive.
Most definitely. As Correa drops in that shot, she's nearing a season high. She's got 8. season high is 9. Game against Beardstown earlier this season. Back at the Lady Tiger Classic. 3-ball is good from Biller. Nice looking shot there. Her first points of the game. And Canton again leaving their starters in, just running out some clock here. Don't need to shoot. We talked about shot clocks earlier on. East Peoria, they are clearly ready for it to happen because you see that apparatus on top of their hoop. That is equipped for a shot clock, so they'll be all ready to go by the time that becomes required in 2026, 2027. Canton calls timeout and tries to get maybe some subs in there. Let's take a look at East Peoria's schedule coming up, Gabe. There are a lot of road games coming up for them. They just that one last home game against Metamora for them this season. They're at Dunlap, at Washington, at Morton, and they're at IVC non-conference game on February 4th. So not going to get any easier here for the Raiders. It's going to be interesting to see what they're made of down the stretch.
No, and especially when you play in an away team's arena, your opponent's arena, it can be pretty intimidating, especially if they have a good student section. I remember back when I was in high school, we had a rowdy student section, and like when teams would come in, teams would not want to play us because we were rowdy. We would get into it, and the teams didn't want to play us because of that. And when you have that kind of support from your fans, from your students, it could be very tough, especially on the road for East Peoria.
And especially against those teams like Washington and Morton, who are having very successful seasons. There's a lot of incentive for the students to go out to those games. So again, we've been out to multiple games there in Torrey Gym and the Potter Dome, and a lot of students show out for those games. Speaking of Torrey Gym, just announced earlier today that they're going to get some renovations. I wrote the story for that. You can catch that on CSM Overtime, the home of all of our written content. We have multiple stories daily on all the area high school teams, summer, winter, spring, fall. No matter what the season is, no matter what the school, no matter what the sport, we got you covered over there. So go on over and subscribe today, clutchsportsil.com/overtime. Also, a big shout out to the rest of our crew here tonight, Joshua Messenger and Gavin Russell. But a fun night coming here to East Peoria, and an exciting performance from both these squads, even though maybe the scoreboard doesn't show it. This has been a fun game to watch, and fast pace and pretty clean. I mean, this is high-level basketball from both these teams.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed just watching these two teams play, and the scoreboard doesn't tell the story of the game. I think that's something that people sometimes forget when they look at just the score of the game. It doesn't tell the whole story of what's happening. Both teams play their hearts out. East Peoria, yes, they may unfortunately get the loss here in this one, but they played hard. They really went out, and even after giving up 23 points in the first quarter, they still stay persistent. And I think that's something that's you can be proud of at the end of the game. And then Canton just did everything right today.
As an all-around effort for them as Moeller gets the lay-in. She's got 15. As the Little Giants bring it up the court, and we'll see, they might just pass things around here as time ticks off.
They're throwing the potato, John.
Yeah, they're passing the potato. I'm glad you brought that up again. I meant to say hot potato earlier game. There's a lot of phrases you can use for the basketball, the pumpkin, the pill. That's a favorite of our own Joey Wright. As term made famous in the song Basketball by Curtis Blow. That's just all-time classic. Great song to warm up to.
That's a good song, yeah.
Especially when you're going in layup lines before the game. Demler's free throw is too strong, but a big game for her. She's got 18 on the night. Exceeds her average coming in of about 11 or so. So, again, she's just a do-it-all player for them. And this team is going to go as Demler and Wheeler go. But, again, multi-headed monster for this Canton team. Do not sleep on them going into the 2A postseason. Moeller, tough layup, gets it to fall. Going deep in her bag of tricks. But it's all treats for Canton tonight. 59-40 win on the road. They move to 13-12 overall. 4-5 in the Mid-Illini. East Peoria moves to 13-12 as well. 2-7 in Mid-Illini Conference play. We'll take a quick break and wrap things up and recap what we just saw here from East Peoria. Right back after this on the WMBD Game of the Week.
Sweep-A-Lot takes care of your pavement sweeping needs for your parking lot or landscape. Sweep-A-Lot is backed by Purdue Pavement Solutions, trusted for paving, sweeping, and parking lot maintenance.
Ready or not, here I come.
After his historic season, Saquon delivered an iconic playoff performance to put the Eagles in the NFC Championship.
Saquon Barkley to the rescue.
Now with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line, they'll take on the Commanders' rookie sensation, Jaden Daniels, who looks to shock the world and send Washington to their first title game in 33 years.
Touchdown, Washington!
The NFC Championship. Coverage begins Sunday at 1 Eastern on Fox.
Welcome back to East Peoria. It's a 59-40 win for the Canton Little Giants over the East Peoria Raiders. Jonathan Michael, Gabe Holoka here breaking down what we saw here tonight. And Gabe, we don't have to pick a player of the game, but we're going to pick one anyways. And for Canton, I think it was pretty obvious. Ella Demler, leading scorer tonight, 19 points and lots more rebounds, assists. Just do-it-all player.
Yeah, I mean, you just took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, she did it all on the court. She played amazing defense. She went out and made scoring opportunities for herself and for her teammates as well. And I think that was a big part of their win in this game. And she came out there and just led the team. The team went with her. I'd say, yeah, that she's the key player of the game for this one.
For sure. Canton's defensive, I should say, just pace overall, both offensively and defensively. Big factors in this one. Allison Wheeler knocked down some big shots. She finished with 13. Ava Gaines had 12 for the Little Giants. Michaela Correa added 8 off the bench, and Grace Spencer had 5. Emma Turner adds 2 for Canton. For East Peoria, they were led by, guess who? Kylie Moeller, 17 for her tonight, 11 for Sydney Sawyer. Aarons had 6, Biller with 3, and Rosecrans with 3. But yeah, very impressed with Kylie Moeller's game, especially. That's the amount of shots and the difficulty of those shots she was able to hit. That deep 3 that they beat the horn, and that layup near the end. A special player for East Peoria, and you know, it's, you know, hopefully she can end her career in style. She has been almost single-handedly turning around this program for the Raiders.
Yeah, no, she's done just a great job. She's putting on a lot of hard work, and I know that Coach Anna Binger is just very proud of her, and I think the entire community just is proud of this team and what they have done. But, you know, having a player like Kylie Moeller there who does it all at a very high level and able to make those difficult shots in close game, in very close games, a shot like that can change it just like that and switch it over.
Most definitely. Well, that will about wrap things up here from EP. It's been a production of Clutch Sports Media. I want to thank again all of our crew, Joshua Messenger, our producer tonight, Gavin Russell, the Russ Bus, we call him behind the camera tonight. Alongside Gabe Holoka, I'm Jonathan Michael. Stay tuned to our social media accounts where we'll tell you where all our next game is. In fact, we'll tell you right now. We're going to Washington next week for one of our WMBD games of the week. Pekin and Washington boys action on Tuesday. You can watch that right here, same spot on ciproud.com. Until then, so long, folks. Have a great rest of your weekend. We will talk to you again later this season and on Tuesday. Again, it's Canton 59, East Peoria 40. Have a great rest of your weekend, folks.